Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm coming to you from my cabin here on board Costa Diadema. Now I've been on board for the last 14 nights exploring the Canary Islands, parts of Spain, France and Italy. Now in this video today I am going to give you full detailed room tours of a couple of different cabin types. Now first of all we're going to look at a standard inside cabin. We'll then move along and look at a standard outside cabin. And after that, we're going to look at two different balcony variants. So first up, we'll look at an enclosed or a sheltered balcony, which on this ship puts you down on deck 2, so one deck below the lifeboats, and you'll see why that's important when we go down to that room. And then the second type of balcony that we'll look at will be a fully unobstructed standard balcony setup, which is a pretty similar room, but just much higher on the ship, so you're not obstructed by the lifeboats at all. Now, before we get started with the first room, all that's left for me to say is that if you enjoy this video and if you do find it useful, I would really appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up, which you should be able to do directly underneath the video. And if you'd like to join me on my adventure this year, then please feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. It would be brilliant to have you along in the journey. But hey, look, that's enough from me here. Let me take you out of this room and let's head along the corridor into our first room today, which is a standard inside cabin. So the cabin that we're going to look at first today is number 7029, which is a standard inside cabin up on deck 7 of the ship. Now, as we head in here, the first thing that I would definitely like to call out is that Costa Diadema isn't a brand new ship. So yeah, don't be expecting when you walk in here for it to feel like a brand new mega ship, because that's not what it is. So personally, I think this cabin is actually aging okay, and there's some nice touches in here that make this very obviously Costa, is what I would say. The first is a number of lights. There are lights everywhere in this cabin, but you can see over here, they've got this vanity set against the wall. You've then on the desk got your phone with a plug point behind. You've then got your welcome kit, which everyone receives when you board a Costa Cruise, and in behind you've got a European plug point as well. Now, underneath the desk, you've got a stool which you can use if you are sitting there. You've then got your hairdryer in the top drawer, followed by 3 further drawers that all click shut, so if you are on rocky seas, they're not going to fly open during the night and wake you up. Now, over here, you've got more mirrors. You've then got 2 hooks, which I'm a really big fan of hooks on bedroom walls, because I often say to people to take hooks with them just to hang things up, so it's great that they're already there. Now, you've got your minibar in here, which, my advice, get your cabin steward to empty that if you're not planning to drink from it, and then it gives you a fridge that you can use for your own things. Now, looking at storage, you've got the first wardrobe here, which has got a full floor-to-ceiling mirror on the left-hand side, plenty of storage on the right, and you've got your safe in there as well. Now, in this one here, you've got your life jackets on the bottom, so obviously there's 2 there because this cabin is designed to accommodate 2 passengers, and then you've got your hanging space, and then in this end wardrobe you've got more hanging space, and then another shelf area at the top. So actually, for the size and type of cabin, quite a lot of storage. I'm actually quite impressed with that. Now, looking over here, you've then got this business card which will confirm to you who your cabin steward is, which I think is a really nice touch. You've then got your key card holder, so you need to put your key card in there, otherwise the lights will go off. Then you've got your aircon. So aircon on this ship I found was generally on all the time, but of a volume that it wasn't an issue, so yeah, don't worry about that. Now, bathroom. This probably is the part of the room that is beginning to show its age, mostly due to the bright pink sink, to be honest with you. Now, other than that, everything in here is exactly the same as what you would expect on a modern ship. You've got your storage, you've got your mirrors, you've got your lighting, you've got your towel holders, and of course, you've got your shower curtain, which, yeah, I won't dwell on that too much, but shower curtains really are my pet hate. I really don't like them. Anyway, you've then got a washing line, which you can hang anything that you need to up in the shower. And that's it. That's a really quick fly round 7029, which is an inside cabin on deck 7 of Costa Diadema. So let me take you back into the bedroom. You can have one final look, and yeah, let me know in the comments, would you cruise in a room like this, or would you need a window, or would you need a balcony? Now don't worry, we're about to move on and look at both of those cabin types, so stay with me as we head into our next room, which is a standard outside cabin. Now this is an outside cabin which to me feels pretty different to what I've seen before. So we're looking at room 2071, which is way down on deck 2 of the ship. I actually very rarely have seen cabins on deck 2 of ships, so I really like them because they're relatively close to the water down here. Now anyway, coming in, this room, I'll explain why it's a little bit different shortly. Let me take you all the way over to the other side of the room to give you a bit of a feel for the size of it. Now, you've obviously got your bed at the far end of the room over here, and then you've got your storage at the other end, which we will work our way over to. Now, in terms of storage, by either side of the bed, you've got your little cupboards that pull out. You've then got lamps on top of the unit that are operated using an on-off switch just directly on the front of the lamp, so you don't have to worry about switches on the wall. You can see there, that's also on that side of the bed as well. Now moving round, you've got a sofa with a light, and then you've also got an armchair in here, which I thought that was a bit of an unusual addition, so yeah, not too sure where that would go without getting in the way. Now over on the wall here, first up you've got your flat screen TV, and that does tilt, so wherever you are in the room you can angle that towards you, and you can see in this cabin, similar to that inside one we were in a minute ago, there is so much lighting in here. Now from a storage point of view, you've got that cupboard on the left hand side. You then move across and you've got your mini bar, which again, top tip, get your cabin steward to empty it if you're not planning to use it. You've then got a drawer, which has got your stool directly underneath, and then moving to the right, you've got your drawer with your hairdryer, followed by 3 other drawers that are all, to be fair, all a decent size, and they will also all click shut the same way that they would in that inside cabin that we were in. Now on top of the desk, you've got your phone that you can use to contact other cabins. You'll then always have the various amounts of paperwork that you need when you join a cruise, and then you've got your plug points. So on there, you've got 1 US plug point and also 1 European plug point. Okay, so let's head over and look at storage. So in the first wardrobe, you'll see that, to be honest, this is pretty similar to that inside cabin which we saw earlier, in the fact that the first storage option that you've got is shelved on one side with the safe in there, and then your floor-to-ceiling mirror attached to the back of the door. You've then got your shelf up top, hanging space down below, and then in the final cupboard, you've got your life jackets. So you've got life jackets on the bottom, followed by some hanging space above, followed by the shelf at the very, very top. Now on the back of the cabin door, you've got all of the usual evacuation information, followed by a spy hole should you need to look out into the corridor, which is always handy. You've got your cabin steward's business card, followed by your key holder, followed by your light switch down below. Now, let's start thinking about what makes this room a little bit different to some others that I've seen before. Now usually, with a cruise ship cabin, you'll have one door when you come in, and that one door will be taking you into the bathroom. But you can see here, you've got your door into the corridor, plus 2 other doors. So first up, let me show you in the first one. Now you can see in here, this looks pretty similar to any cruise ship cabin bathroom that you've seen before. Obviously you've got the bright pink sink that we also saw earlier, which personally I think is ageing these cabins. You've then got the shower curtain, so let's get that out the way. And then inside you've got a detachable shower head, which is always good. You've then got soap built into the wall on a dispenser, and then at the top you've got your washing line that you can pull out again to hang anything on that you need to during your cruise. Now you've then got the 2 hooks on the back of the bathroom door, And if I just spin around here, you can also see that you've got your open storage, so just open shelving to keep any toiletries in. Now, what's in that door number 2, I hear you ask? Well, let me show you. So in here, you've got what could be the world's smallest bath, which actually, do you know, I very, very rarely have a bath on a cruise ship. So, to be honest, I would really like to have a cabin like this if I ever have an Oceanview, because I think it's such a premium to have a bath in a room that's not a mini suite or a suite. So, yeah, definitely didn't expect that. Now let me take you over and show you out of the window. Now, remember that we were docked at the time of me taking this video, so you'll have to imagine that you've got the rolling ocean directly outside. The reason I did want to show you this is that you've got quite a deep windowsill, so you actually could sit on that windowsill and just watch the ocean roll past, which is definitely one of my favourite pastimes on a sea day. But yeah, look, let me know with this cabin, what do you think? And would you stay in here, or do you still think you'd need a balcony? Now, on that note, Costa on Diadema offer 2 different types of balcony cabin. First up, we're going to look at an enclosed balcony cabin, and secondly, we'll look at a more standard balcony cabin. So the room that we're in now is cabin 2085, so we're still down on deck 2, and we're actually just along the corridor from the outside cabin that we've just left. Now, we will go out and we will look at the balcony shortly, but first of all, let me do as I always do and walk you around the cabin itself first. Now, starting off from a storage point of view, you've got, similar to what we've seen in the other rooms, you've got a cupboard on either side of the bed, then you've got a lamp which is operated by an on-off switch on the lamp itself. Now you can see here, that's exactly the same setup at this side of the bed as well. Now beside the bed, you've got a sofa with a lamp above it as well, so that's perfect for if you want to do some reading or if you want to watch the TV but not be in your bed. I always think the sofa is a really, really good addition. Now, on the note of the TV is on a bracket that spins round, so if you were in bed, you can tilt it towards you there. If you're on the sofa, you can tilt it towards you there. Absolutely not a problem. You've then got a cupboard underneath the desk, and then moving along, you've got your fridge or your minibar set up underneath here. You then move along and you've got the empty drawer underneath the desk, followed by the stool and the bin underneath. And on the left hand side, the setup that I'll have already showed you in the previous cabins, which is your hairdryer drawer on the top and 3 further drawers directly underneath. Now, above the desk, you'll see that you've got loads of lights, loads of mirrors, really, really good. Now on here, you've got your phone that you can use to contact other cabins. You've then got your various bits of literature that again, you'll have seen in those other cabins. And then you've got your plug points as you work your way along as well. Now, from a balcony cabin point of view, you don't actually have a huge amount of plug points in here. So it is just worth bearing that in mind if you are looking to cruise on a Costa ship, because yeah, you're not seeing a huge amount of plugs in any of these rooms. Now, heading over to look at storage then, first up, you've got the 2 hooks on the left hand wall there, which I am always a really, really big fan of. And then you've got your wardrobe setups on the right. Now, if you've been watching this video for the whole 14 minutes now, you'll have seen the other 2 cabins, so you'll know this setup is exactly the same as the other rooms, where first of all, you've got your mirror on the back of the door, followed by your shelving where you're safe. You then come in here, you've got your life jackets at the bottom with some hanging space and a shelf at the top. And then you've got more hanging space, a shelf at the top, and that's you. So, let's close that off. Now on the door, you can see you've got your spy hole, which is covered with the little guard on it to keep the light out. You've then got your cabin share business card, which is always really handy. You've got your cabin key holder, so remember you need to put your key in there, otherwise your lights and your air conditioning will click off. Aircon is one of those hotter or colder settings, so you're not picking a number and getting it to go to that. So yeah, not an issue for me. I found the fans to be pretty quiet on here. And yeah, exactly the same bathroom as what I've showed you in the other rooms. So rather than me chat away to you in here, I'm going to let you have a quick look around the bathroom, and I'll see you in a second to head out and look at the balcony. Okay, so let's head out and look at the balcony, because this is quite an unusual room. Now remember, you're down on deck 2, so you are relatively close to the waterline here. Now before we go out, this cabin does have child locks on it, so if you do have little ones in the cabin, you can lock the door from up there so that they can't go out onto the balcony if you're not with them or if you're not watching them at that point in time. Now you can see here that your balcony is fully enclosed, so you don't have anyone looking in on you from above or from either side, and this is your light above the window, by the way. And in front, you don't have a glass barrier, but you've got a solid steel surround followed by the kind of wooden handrail. I couldn't think of the word there, but the handrail over the front. Now, you are directly underneath the lifeboats here, which gives you a fully unobstructed view down, but it is a little bit different to the standard balcony that we're going to move in and look at in the final part of this video. But look, I guess the same question again. That's cabin number 3 of this video done. Let me know what you think. Would you cruise in an enclosed balcony cabin, or would you prefer to have one that's much more open? Let me know down in the comments. And that brings us to our final cabin. So we're actually going back up to deck 7, which is where we started this video, and we're going to look at a standard balcony cabin up here. So this room is pretty much identical to the enclosed balcony cabin that we've just looked at. I will talk you around it anyway, just in case you've skipped to this part of the video. But yeah, if you've already watched the previous room, then you might want to just skip forward to the balcony. But you can see here, when you look at it from this angle, it's almost an identical room other than the artwork. So when you go over on this side of the bed, you've got your storage, so you've got your cupboard under here, followed by your lamp, which is operated by the on-off switch on the very front of the lamp. Now that's the same on the other side of the bed, where you've got your cupboard with your lamp with your on-off switch. Now you've then got your sofa with another lamp on the left, so really useful if you are, for example, watching TV, reading a book, and you don't want to be on or in your bed. Now, on the note of the TV, as we mentioned before, that's on a bracket, so that makes it much easier to view, no matter where you are in the room. And then in terms of storage, you've got a cupboard here, which is useful. It's not very deep, but it is useful to get rid of things in. You then move along, and you've got your minibar in this section here, which you can either consume or ask your cabin steward to empty, and then you've got your own fridge that you can use. You've then got your empty drawer underneath the desk, followed by the 4 standard drawers, with the top one having the hairdryer in it, and the other 3 all being empty. And by the way, just as with every other room we've looked at, all of these drawers click shut, so if you're at sea, they're not going to open and they're not going to wake you up, so don't worry about that. Now on top of the desk, you've got your phone that you can use to contact the various departments on board or other cabins. You've then got your welcome kit, and then you've got the usual plug points. So again, not a huge amount of plug points on here, not an issue for me, but for some it's definitely worth thinking how you could get around that. Now, the key feature in all of these rooms that I'm so impressed with is the lighting. I just think for an older ship, it really makes the room feel bigger and just so much brighter, having so many lights in it. Now in terms of storage, you've got the 3 wardrobes here. This first one we've seen in every cabin that we've looked in so far, where you've got your shelves on the left with your safe, and on the right hand side you've got your top to bottom mirror that you can look at on the back of the door. You've then got your hanging space with another shelf here, plus your life jackets. And then in the final wardrobe, you've got more hanging space with a shelf on the top. Now back at the door, you've got all the usual information, plus your little spy hole to look out into the corridor, and that's protected by the little guard that you can see flicking down there. Now you've then got your cabin shared business card, which I just really like because it reminds you of their name all the time. You've then got your cabin key holder, which you need to put in there for environmental purposes to keep the lights on. And then you've got your aircon, which is hotter or colder. Again, I didn't find that problematic on this ship at all. And then, you guessed it, the same bathroom that you have seen now 4 times in this same video. So look, again, let me give you a quick look round here. I'm going to stop talking and I will see you as we head out to look at the balcony. So yeah, we'll now head out to look at the balcony in this cabin. Now you can see here you've got your door on the right hand side followed by your window on the left hand side. So slightly different design to a lot of the more modern ships where it's a sliding door. This is a more conventional door, I guess, which opens outwards onto the balcony. Now from a size point of view, pretty typical to what I've seen with other lines really, where you've got your 2 sit-up chairs, you've got your table in the middle, and then you've got your glass balcony with the wooden handrail on top. So yeah, that is a look round a standard balcony cabin, in addition to an enclosed balcony, an outside cabin, and also an inside cabin here on Costa Diadema. Now, I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up down below and think about subscribing to the channel as well. That would be great. But for now, let me know what you think of these rooms and I'll catch up with all of you soon. Great. Cheers, guys. Bye.